Yesterday, Blizzard revealed an updated press kit, which revealed that the silhouettes for the 2 new support heroes have changed quite a bit. And of course, everybody was completely rational and normal about it. Every social media platform, Reddit, X, YouTube, people are criticizing the new silhouettes of the last 2 heroes we're getting this year, which I just find really bizarre because, one, the original announcement was back in February. These characters weren't going to come out till almost a year later, right? 7 to 9 months after they were initially announced. Characters change, abilities change, looks change. A character is not going to be stagnant that long throughout development, especially when you're releasing 10 heroes in a single year. A lot of things are going to change. I believe Spylo even stated that Mizuki's weapon wasn't even finalized until 2 weeks before his launch. And 2, it's a silhouette of a character that's still in a concept phase. Like, again, do we just expect characters to stay the same exactly throughout the whole process? No, that's just not how it works. It just reminded me how much this community has a knee-jerk reaction to every single little change in just this complete doomer mentality. Look at the Omnic design. His old design was very generic. Like, there's no beating around the bush. Generic does not mean bad, but it was not a unique design at all. It utilizes a normal Omnic faceplate, a trench coat, and a hat. What about that is unique, exactly, or inspiring, compared to his new design, which is more stylized? Again, this is just basing it off the silhouette because that's all we have is the silhouette. We don't even have the actual character design or name. Or ability list. We have leaked abilities, but that wasn't always accurate. Like, for Shihan, it was completely inaccurate. And it's very likely that these characters had very different abilities back in February than they do now. Maybe the Omnic Detective did lose his cane, but if it didn't work with the character, why keep it in there? They could also just be saving it for another character, a character that fits what they believe they want the Kane's playstyle to be, or how they want the Kane to act. Like, all the reactions of his aura loss, it doesn't even look like the same character anymore. This character looks terrible. The new silhouette's horrible. The new silhouette looks so uninspired. It's just so disingenuous because you can't sit here and tell me that this new design looks worse than the previous design. This new design looks like it fleshes out more of his personality than his first initial design. His first initial design looked like a very basic noir detective, and this design looks very more fleshed out. And again, even if you're saying you prefer the old silhouette more, it's a silhouette of a character that's still in the concept phases. Like, I don't understand why this reaction is so huge, and honestly, it might be pretty off-putting for Blizzard of doing stuff like this in the future if people are just going to complain about the concept stages of characters. The other character, who is Hivemind, did have a more dramatic change in their silhouette. It almost looks like a completely new hero, but that's also just what happens in concept stages of characters. Just look at someone like Hazard. You have people calling this character a male Mercy and Moira. Like, this is a comment I've seen in a lot of different posts, and I just find it funny because this isn't even a male character. It's supposed to be a female character, at least based on the leaks. Again, this stuff could change. This whole doomer mentality and knee-jerk reaction to the change of the silhouettes is not surprising at all. These reactions sums up why Overwatch struggled so much in the last 10 years, because this community is so scared of any kind of change at all. It's always, oh, this is going to change. It's horrible. Did I see it? Did I experience it? No, but I already know it's going to be bad, and I already hate it. This is how you have characters that end up like Roadhog, like Mercy, like Sombra, because people are so scared to change. They don't want their playstyles to change, but for the betterment and health of the game, they kind of have to, in one way or another. Until you're just bullied into submission like Sombra mains have been, where you just have to accept any change just so you can play your character in competitive again. And then you have a character like Mercy who desperately needs something changed about her kit, but you can't touch anything with Mercy without her community just going up in flames about it. Even if it would be a change that they end up liking later down the line, they're going to be so resistant at first that it's going to be hard to get any of them on board to even try it out in the first place. Because again, this whole community has this perception that any change is going to be a bad change, and that we're not allowed to change things, otherwise it's going to be horrible and the game's going to become unplayable. Which leads Blizzard to have really safe changes in their game with hero design, with balances, with map designs, where it nearly killed the game back in 2023, 2024. Until they were like, screw it, we have to change something, we have to do something. So they went ahead, they took risks they wouldn't normally take, like trying out 6v6, like creating Stadium, like creating perks. And there was a long time in this game where people were on board with the one hero every other season, and that if we released one hero a season, it would ruin the competitive integrity of the game, and the heroes' kits wouldn't be as fleshed out. Which is funny because when you look at someone like Release Mauga, Release Lifeweaver, they're two sides of the same coin. Lifeweaver just sucked for months. He had like 6 or 7 straight buffs, and he was still horrible, while Mauga was just an absolute monster on launch, and was that way up until, I believe, the beginning of 2024. And while yes, there is some quality things that have definitely dipped since they switched to the one hero a season format, new heroes bring in new players, and new players is what keeps live service games alive. So ultimately, I'll take the lesser content for each hero, like no highlight intros, no legendary skins, in exchange for more heroes. As bad as Sierra's and Demon's kits are, the kits weren't exactly more inspiring when they were doing one hero every other season. Mauga has a pretty basic kit, Lifeweaver, Alari. Their kits are pretty basic, and even with the 8 heroes that have released so far this year, there's really only 2 L's, being Demon and Sierra. Maybe I'm pre-firing on Demon here, but she just feels so clunky and anti-smooth. But this resistance to change is what has held Overwatch back so much, and I feel like Overwatch has a higher resistance to change than a lot of other games. Maybe Halo is the only other title that is more resistant to change, where you still have old heads that complain about sprint inside of Halo, that sprint doesn't belong in Halo, and have complained about it for the last 15 years. Like, there's a reason why Halo is struggling so much as a franchise, because the fans don't know what they want and 343 doesn't know who to listen to and doesn't believe in themselves. And you know, it might sound rich about me saying Overwatch has this whole doomer mentality when I contributed to it, and I do agree to an extent, but I feel like when I criticize something, when I critique something, or when I complain about something, I have a certain basis on which I'm complaining, and that I usually offer my solution to that problem, and I want to experience that problem firsthand before I just post about it on YouTube, because I want to be able to offer a solution as well. I feel like that's what makes constructive criticism versus complaining. When you're constructive about something, you're offering your input and how you believe you can make it better and the problems that you are experiencing with that certain subject. On my Ultra Skin video, I did not know at the time that you could try out shop skins in the practice range. I thought that was only for mythics. So I went ahead and bought the skins because at the time I did not know that you could try it out in the practice range. And the reaction to that was insane. Like, people wouldn't read my pinned comment. They're just saying, oh, you bought the skin, you're a sellout. Oh, did Blizzard provide the skin code for you? There's even a few posts on X that I seen that blew up with my video as the thumbnail saying, the concept of making a video complaining about the skin bundle while playing the skin in question. Like, is that not what a review is in the first place? You buying something and reviewing it? That's what I was trying to do. I did not know you could try it out at the time. So again, I was buying the skin to try it out and seeing how bad the skins really were, because I don't like blindly hating on something, especially something that has VFX that you have to try out in game to see it for yourself to properly judge it. Before I give any kind of opinion, I always want to experience it for myself. And sometimes I do jump the gun on things. Sometimes I don't thoroughly test things out. You know, we're human, we all make mistakes, but I try my best to be as constructive as possible and give as fair review and opinion as possible. That's just how I feel about the Overwatch community, about the knee-jerk reactions and this whole doomer mentality that really holds the game back. Just wait and see till the character's revealed, and then you could properly judge it. Judging a character based on a silhouette and having these reactions to a silhouette is pretty insane, but I'm not surprised at this point. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.